I know what it's like lying in bed at 1 a.m., calculating how much sleep you're gonna get, getting flashes of suicide. Not like full on thoughts, but really quick, like hypotheticals. What if I killed myself? What if I didn't wake up tomorrow? And then eventually waking up, which is not ideal because you'd rather just sleep for a solid year or two to rest until you're ready to deal with life again. But I don't want to comfort you. I don't want this to be a vent video where you relate to me and then in a few days you continue suffering again. I don't want that. I created the mental maxing protocol to specifically get people who feel like they're surviving by the day get to where they have energy, their lives are good, there are no voices shouting in their heads telling them to kill themselves, telling them that their lives are worthless, that they're a failure. In 14 days, my mental maxing protocol works faster than ketamine treatment for depression. Here's how it works. You wouldn't want to die in your sleep. You wouldn't want to sleep for 3 years. If your life was perfect, if you had clear skin, if you had perfect hair, if you didn't have to shuffle your hair all the time, if your hair wasn't oily, if you weren't picking at your face for an hour every day before you go to work, if you had the perfect physique, a physique where like you look at your waist and like you're not cringing at it, where you walk past the mirror and instead of darting your eyes away to hide the fact that your physique is ass, you keep looking at it because of how good it is. It sounds weird, but if your life was genuinely perfect, you would want to show off. You would want to make the most out of life. You wouldn't let external shit bother you. You wouldn't let like your parents dictate how you feel. You wouldn't let like the political economic state of the world dictate your disappointment because you yourself would be rich, attractive. Everything about you would be perfect in this ideal scenario and you wouldn't care. It wouldn't make you depressed. It wouldn't make you tired. You would want to live. You would want to go out and make the most out of life. But you have no energy to put in the work to get those things, to become attractive, to fix your hair, to get rich. You don't have the energy to. Yeah, it would have been nice to be born pretty. It would have been nice to be born into a rich family, but fate has you in this shitty life where you should just kill yourself. If there was a way to have energy to get the things that would make your life perfect, instead of having the same energy to rot in bed, binge watch YouTube videos while eating, playing 5 hours of video games a day, and watching porn, would you take that switch? Yeah, I think you would, like replacing the fatigue you get from doing work with instead feeling fatigue from binge scrolling YouTube and Instagram so you could have energy to do work, so you can have energy to live life, to get the things that would make your life objectively amazing. So here's how to do that. You're tired every day because there are voices in your head that tell you to kill yourself all the time, that tell you that you're a failure, that you don't deserve to live, that question why are you alive. And those voices, they make you go fucking insane. They put you in a survival state that drains your energy. You're trying to survive with voices that tell you to kill yourself. Now, those voices come from your past actions. Those voices come from the fact that for your entire life, you've been nothing but a bed-rotting loser who's ugly and fat and has nothing going for them. That means that you are in a cycle of being tired, scrolling on your phone, playing games, watching YouTube to rest, then getting bombarded with voices that tell you you're a failure, then you should kill yourself because you've did nothing with your life, which makes you tired, and that repeats the cycle. You have to break that cycle by doing nothing instead of resting by being a failure. Instead of scrolling on your phone when you're tired, rot in bed, but just stare at a crack in your wall for like 4 hours. Instead of coming home, watching YouTube while eating after work, come home and instantly sleep. Don't even shower. Just come home, brush your teeth, change, and go to sleep. Even if like you come home at 4 p.m. and it's still daylight outside. Because you won't fall asleep, but you will be staring at a wall. You'll just be doing nothing, which doesn't give your head any room to shout at you. Because you didn't fail, because you didn't scroll on YouTube, because you didn't waste your life, because you didn't play 5 hours of video games, because you didn't relapse on porn, your brain has nothing to shout at you for. So it actually shuts up for once. There's actually nothing draining your energy. You're not in a survival state. And now you want to unironically do life. Unironically, going to school, going to work, doing your chores, cleaning your room, like doing shit isn't hard because there's no survival. You're not going day by day surviving to the next day, just making it till 4 p.m. when you get off of work. You're not doing that because there's nothing to run away from. There's no more voices that you have to survive from. You're not tired anymore. So when you cleared the rotting addictions, the phone, the scrolling, the video games, the anime binging, the food binging, when you cleared those rotting addictions, you just continue living and doing the next thing. You go to the gym, you learn a business model, you learn how to do calorie deficit, you make a YouTube video to make some money on the side, you study. It unironically just happens when you don't have the voices shouting at you because you didn't do anything, so you weren't a failure. You just unironically live life and you level up the things that you do because you just have energy to do the next thing. This is what happens when you rot, but just without your phone. You rot, but you don't do anything. You don't give your brain any proof that you're a failure, that you deserve to be shouted at, that you deserve to be called a failure who should kill themselves. That's when the voice disappears and you get energy. And you know the voice is gone when you're tired, you come home and there's no urge, there's no thought of like, oh, let me go on my phone, let me watch YouTube. When I do nothing with my clients, it usually takes them like 3-ish days. So for 3 days, starting today, just unplug your HDMI cable, put your phone in another room, and just lie in bed, just blankly staring at the one crack in your wall, at the fan that's spinning on top of your room, at the doorknob of your closet. Like, just bed rot, but do nothing. Just sleep for 3 days. Don't give your brain any room to call you a pathetic failure who wastes your life. That is where my clients get the energy to max out their life, to become rich, to become attractive, to become fit. They get to a point where doing work towards that thing is the exact same as rotting. It's not work for them. It's just like they have energy to do it. They're not tired. And again, that means they don't get bombarded with suicidal thoughts that make them drained. And that's how they max out their life in 14 days. Now, of course, I guide them on what specific business they should do, on what exactly they should do for their career, on how they should go about life. But this is the bottom line. This is how you get energy to max out your life. And if you want me to help you get to this maxed out point, I mean, my clients get to that point in 2 weeks. That's faster than ketamine treatments. DM me on Discord and I can get you to that point as well.